Let's see. Looks like it's going. Good evening, everybody. Sorry, I gotta unwrap the mic. There we go. So I gotta be a little quieter than normal. That way, if my roommate can hear me, I just want to be nice to him. Alright. So where are we at? Where are we at with these things? So I hope everybody's doing good tonight. So as you guys can see where we're at with the Heldrake. So I've gotten most of it done. There's still a few places I need to do my gold on. So we're going to start with finishing up the gold in the places that I've missed that now I can see. Yeah. And so I've spent the better part of the past 3 days getting the gold on these guys. So I'm glad that this journey is almost over. Alright. So let's start. Ah, man. Gotta actually mix this up a little bit. So I don't know if anybody's gonna watch this, but welcome if you are there. So let's see. Just trying to finish up these little pieces I missed down in here. These things have been a complete nightmare. But, sorry, let me adjust the camera a little bit so that way you guys can see where I'm at. And so right now I'm just, like I said, touching up the gold. There's some spots that I missed it on. And just coming through and hitting them up real quick. Oh, hey, what up, Paul's Dust? So sorry, I'm trying to be a little quiet just in case my roommate is still up. I'll still talk, I just gotta be a little more muted than normal. Oh, nice. Well, thank you for tuning in, man. So like I said, right now I'm touching up the gold. Just making sure that I got all the gold real quick before I move on to the other pieces of my Heldrake right here. Like I can see that I missed a little curve right here. This thing has been an absolute pain in my ass to paint. I'm so glad to be almost done with it. So I gotta get these spikes underneath here. A little bit right there. And looks like I missed some down in here too. But thanks for tuning in, man. I'm glad to have you here. Like I said, trying to be a little quiet. That way if my roommate's still awake, I don't wake him up. So I'm currently on night shift, and I got off a little early today, so I decided that I was going to paint some more, because I've been painting a lot lately. And then I was like, you know what? I can go ahead and do a live stream while finishing up this heldrake. And so just hitting up his belly a little bit because the gold didn't take nearly as well in some parts down in here. But that's cool that you're kit bashing a hell brute. Are you actually going to use them, or are you just doing it for fun? So right now I'm just going inside the mouth and just hitting up a little gold near the lip, because when I do the mouth, I don't want to completely cover up the gold. You know what I mean? I know it's kind of hard to see it from there. I should probably move the camera a little closer to me, actually. I'm going to do that. Hold on a sec. Set him down while I do this. There we go. That way you can see this a lot better. Alright. Hopefully you can hear me fine too. Let me know if you can't. So, looks like I missed a teeny bit down in here. Where'd my thing go? But looks like I missed a little bit down in here. Yeah, I forgot the Long War is on Wednesdays. Which they're very popular. But I wasn't really thinking about that. I was just thinking about, hey, I want to paint a Heldrake. That's all I thought about. Not thinking about competition or anything. This is not like I'm like the best painter ever and I get a million tune-ins. Alright, so that looks good now. Cool. So at this point, so I'm going to do tanned flesh for the fleshy bits on his butt end here. And then the metal parts, the silver parts are going to be like the second to last thing I do. Gotta get this fleshy color on him first. And so to put this on, I need a rounder brush. Here we go. For this color, I gotta be very, very careful. So I don't want to get too much on the armor plates. So I don't have to clean it all up. So the least, if I can minimize this as much as I can. Sorry, I'm trying to get down in here. I got a bit of this on the gold. Where's my gold at? That's not my gold. This is my gold. So I have to come through and touch that up here. But all right. I know I'm here by myself, so right now I'm just gonna zone out and make sure that I don't mess this up. So I think I'm gonna wash this flesh. I don't know if I'm probably gonna do like Druki Violet to make it like kind of purplish, you know, because it's demon flesh, not normal human flesh. But we'll see. We'll see when we get there, you know. And now the idea is to get the base colors on. Oh, what up, man? What up, Jake? Hopefully you can hear me fine, man. I'm trying to be quiet. That way I don't wake up my roommate. What up, David? But I'm starting to do the non-base colors of this Heldrake here. Trying to get these done. That way they're freaking done. These have been by far the worst models I've painted. By far. That's why I just want to get them done, you know? Move on to greener pastures or something like that. Why is this not? It's kind of fuzzy. But yeah, I got off work early, so decided why not go ahead and do a paint stream. Because I've been posting a lot of updates on these guys lately. So I'm doing tanned flesh for their fleshy bits, and then I've got some normal skeleton bone that I'm going to do the actual his bony tail in. I don't know, do I want to do it that way? I'm almost thinking maybe I'll just do the because one drake's going to be blue, one's going to be purple, one's going to be green. Maybe I'll just do that for the tail too, you know? Yeah, it's pretty horrifying. I've gotten no joy out of painting this damn thing. But once it's done, it is done. I listened to a podcast the other day. Some guy had painted like 7 of these because he kept buying and selling them. I do not have that. Like, literally, if I were to ever sell these, I'd never buy them again unless they were fully painted. Would literally never buy these again unless they were fully painted. Because this is pretty damn terrible. So right now I'm just trying to get all the fleshy bits base coated. Oh man, oh man. It's very hard to see down in here. I'm just trying to get the places where people might look. You know what I mean? Just don't sell them? Yeah, that is the truth right there. That is the absolute truth. I'm just saying, like, if I were to ever get out of the game again, which I have resolved that I'm not going to sell my stuff. If I were to get out of 40K again, I learned that lesson the hard way. So I always advise people, do not sell your armies. Regardless of how much the game sucks, or you might hate it at that time, don't sell your armies. Because you're going to want to come back, and then you're going to want to play again, and then you're going to spend like quadruple the amount of money to rebuy things that you probably already had before, you know? Like if I were to go through and buy all the armies that I sold before, it'd be way too much damn money. I mean, painting yellow's alright. It's not too terrible. It's hard to keep it smooth, you know, but at least it looks really good when you're done with it. I love yellow models, man. A nice yellow, like, Imperial Fist guy. Freaking awesome. Absolutely awesome. Yeah, the game is pretty toxic right now for a lot of people, I think. And it really sucks. But because I had a little bit of fun at that tournament I just went to. But it just, I don't know. Unless you're playing Space Marines, it just feels like an uphill battle the whole way. It's like Custard's last stand every single game, so. Yeah, white's pretty hard too. Like a pure white. But I can't stop playing, Jake. I gotta make battle reports for the channel. I don't know. We'll see. I'm thinking I might go up to the game store on Saturday and throw some dice. Maybe I can find a Tau guy to play against or something. I do need to test this Poxwalker list some more. Get better at it. I know that feeling, dude. Like, I was one of 2 Chaos players at this last tournament. And then I have a feeling this next one that I'm going to go to in March. Yeah, because I don't think we're going to get any new Chaos stuff by then. I'm probably going to end up being, like, the only one playing Chaos. So, I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. But can't stop, won't stop playing the Chaos. So right now, just getting this tailpipe area complete. No, I'm good, Dave. I really don't want to drive down there again, man. Appreciate it, though. I appreciate it. I'm trying to keep more towards this area unless it's a tournament or something like that. Because it takes a lot of time, a lot of gas, and a lot of effort. Oh, man. Come on, man. So... yeah, Space Wolves are getting a book, and then I imagine that they're going to be up there with Dark Angels and all those other armies. And Chaos is still going to be, Chaos. That is to say, not doing very, very well right now. But it is what it is. So, ebbs and flows and all that fun stuff. Maybe I'll just pick up some Age of Sigmar books, because then I could do Heretic Wargaming battle reports for Age of Sigmar. And at least over there, Chaos is pretty good. Now I get it. I appreciate it. The only crappy part is there's like only 2 Age of Sigmar players in this whole damn area. And then I would have to go get more horrors, I think. Or some of those Acolytes of Tzeentch. I think that's what they are. The Acolytes. Is that the main troops for Tzeentch on Age of Sigmar? I'm not well versed in Age of Sigmar stuff. Okay. Ah, crap. I got a bit too much on there. So, as you guys can see, I got the fleshy color on the back tail part of this old Heldrake rat meal. Voila. I'm going to go ahead and move him off to the side and let him dry and move on to the next one. Heldrake numero deuce. Deuce. Dose. I do have a bunch of Nurgle. I have 6 Plague Drones and plenty of Plague Bearers. Don't I need to get oh, what are they? The Terminator dudes, the Blight dudes. I can't remember the name of them. Basically the Terminators of Age of Sigmar. Don't I have to get a bunch of those dudes? The Putrid Blight Kings or something like that? Plus then I'd have to go buy the books, because I don't have the rule books either. But I do have plenty of Nurgle stuff. And I do have plenty of Tzeentch stuff too. But man, these damn Heldrakes are just Ugh, I am. Can't wait to be done with these. I'm glad plague drones are good in Age of Sigmar, though. Because they're really terrible in 40k. Now. After they got their damn points hike out of nowhere. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, like more for a mixed army, because I really like the, what is it, the flying dudes? The guys that fly around on the plague drones. Those guys are pretty cool. I like those. That's what I made a couple of my demon princes out of. That's actually what I made Epidemius out of, too. No, that's cool. I like that. I like that a lot. I don't know. Getting into Age of Sigmar right now is, I don't know. I'm going to wait and see. Because the biggest thing is I love tournaments. Or it's just worse drones. That sucks. But I'm big into tournaments, and without there being Age of Sigmar tournaments around, you know, it just kind of isn't worth. I wouldn't get as much enjoyment out of it, you know. I think that's part of why I haven't picked up an army yet for Age of Sigmar. I could do it as like a side project thing. Just pick up the codex, you know, and do some battle reports. That would break up. That would break up all the 40k stuff a little bit. I don't know. Might be an idea. Might be an idea. But I've got to finish getting my Thousand Suns stuff first. Right now I'm trying to get enough Thousand Suns things to kind of tool around with mostly a Thousand Suns army. It's not the most competitive thing, but it just sounds fun to me. So, yeah. I'm getting this pink on random crap. So I'm going to have to go through and touch up. Oh, I've got a huge amount of people here. This is nice. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Normally I don't get this many people on for a paint stream. But I got off work early today and decided, you know what? I'm going to continue painting these heldrakes, and instead of doing them while watching TV, I was going to do a live stream finally. So, welcome, everyone. So right now I'm just trying to do the fleshy bits of these heldrakes, which is under their wings here, and a little bit on their back. And obviously a bit right here, right above the armor. So I'm using tan flesh or barbarian flesh or something like that. It's a army painter color, but it's a super like orangey flesh tone. Because I think that'll be a nice Demon Engine flesh tone when I eventually wash this. God, man. Got so much of that pink on the freaking metal. God damn it. God damn it, god damn it. This model is freaking terrible. So if you're just tuning in to watch me struggle. Shit. Here, let me take a dry brush and see if I can get it down in there and soak up some of this paint. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna have to touch up all that metal right there. That was fucking terrible. So I just gotta hit up just a little sliver there. There's a little sliver here. Yeah, I think I'll just finish all the flesh tones and then I'll just come back and actually like, because there's quite a bit of pink that I've gotten on the metally bits. Kind of wish I had done this part first before I did all that. Ah well, live and learn, right? I want to do all the trim because the trim is by far the worst part of this whole model. So that's why I just kind of sat in my room watching TV, putting the trim color on. For sure. That way, in case I move it off the side again, like I've been doing. No, we don't do any Age of Sigmar events at all. As a matter of fact, I don't know if North Carolina at all has any, because I haven't been hearing of any. If there are some, they're most likely going to be in Raleigh, which is the 2-hour. It's a 2-hour drive when I go up there for the 40K events. So, but I also don't know much about competitive Age of Sigmar or like what's good, what's bad. And then at the same point, like even if there was tournaments, you know, I wouldn't get enough practice against decent players or decent armies to probably stand a chance, you know. So I just wouldn't feel confident. But I mean, it would break it up. It would break up my 40K-ness. And it does seem like Age of Sigmar is a hell of a lot less alpha strikey, one-turn killy than 40K is, you know? Whenever I flip over one of these heldrakes, I imagine like it's a turkey and I'm about to like pluck all of its feathers. Yeah, it'll be hard to build a player base for that game there, Dave, because Age of Sigmar is a lot smaller of a game as far as like who plays it, who like I love the look of the armies, don't get me wrong, it's just 40K is just so much easier to find someone to play with, so that's why I never started it. And when the armies cost just as much as a 40K army, it's like, so do you start an army for a game that you're never going to play, that you're spending like hundreds if not thousands of dollars on an army, or do you just double down and go more into the game that you know you can find players every week, and there's events and all sorts of stuff. So it's a hard sell for me. Also, I've played a lot of different games over my years. And I do not like buying into games that I don't feel like I can get value out of anymore. You know? Age of Sigmar is just a hard sell for me until... And I'm so busy building the 40K community around here, I don't have time to build a Sigmar community too, you know? Running events and yada yada yada. Especially after running that especially after running that damn kill team tournament, man. That was a chore and a half. Like, you would think Kill Team would be a lot easier, but man, some of those people were not fun to deal with. So, yeah. Okay, we are getting the tailpipes painted. So if this is your first time tuning in, welcome, guys. So my paint streams are very inconsistent, as in I don't do them the same time every week or anything. Just kind of do them when I feel like it. So thank you for hanging out with me. Especially because it's kind of later, but all right. Flip him around. Gotta get down underneath his wing here too. So I will have to come back through with bronze and touch up because I'm getting pink kind of on some of the edging here of the wings. So I will tell you, if you're ever painting a freaking Heldrake, do not put it together first. This is the first model that, which two of them I bought were pre-built, so like there's that, but these are the first models that I've painted that I feel like legitimately would have been way easier had I sub-assembled them or like pulled them apart, like pulled apart the two pre-built ones, because these are freaking terrible once they're put together. Yeah, the Archeon model is really freaking cool. I do like that model. I even like the old Archeon model on the Doomsday horse. I know now they put him on a Chimera or something, but I do like the Doomsday horse one. That was actually probably one of my favorite models for years. Because I played Fantasy. I actually built an entire like High Elves army. Never painted it though. I just built it. And then I had a Dwarfs army too. I like dwarves. I like stumpy guys. Stumpy dwarves are funny. I like them. I have stated that if a Chaos Dwarves army comes back, I might have to go get him. Because, you know, it's Chaos and it's Dwarves, so it's like two of my favorite things. Alright. Fantastic. I think I got... Sorry, I'm looking around his tailpipe. So, tailpipe is done for number 2. I'm going to go ahead and set him off to the side. And go ahead and grab number 3. Number 3. So I'm just kind of going through and just hitting up the same spots on all 3 of them. And then just kind of rotating through, you know. Just so that way I kind of... To me, it's just easier to go ahead and do... Yeah, that Archeon model's cool. I do like that Archeon model a lot. See, this one, for some reason, has fur on him. This is one of the ones I got secondhand. It's like when they painted him, like fuzz was in their paintbrush or something. Cat fur or something. Alright. Getting anything up under here for the pink. And so some might ask, why am I painting heldrakes, right? Because I want to get them out of the way. I do not intend to play with them at all. Because sadly they're not in my opinion, in a good place in the meta right now. I wouldn't put them on the table. But because these are the hardest models that I own to paint, as a matter of fact, I would say these are way harder than Morty was, way, way harder than Lord of Change was. As far as just like difficulty of painting it, not detail or anything, just being a pain in the ass to paint. But I wanted to get these out of the way because I think for my current list I need to paint one Chaos Lord with a Power Fist, which will take me maybe a couple hours, 2 to 3 hours, depending on like just how involved I get with it. But these guys, so I'm already well over a dozen hours into painting all 3 of these. Because like I said, for the past 3 days I've been sitting there on my couch or on my armchair and literally just painting trim. Like the panels and everything were done, but I seriously sat there for about 3 hours, 3 days in a row, just painting trim. I don't think they're going to nerf Grey Knights. I really don't. But I do think something needs to come along because Grey Knights definitely needed a buff. Whether or not it's too much of a buff right now, it's yet to be seen. But Heldrakes definitely have no play in the Grey Knights at all because they don't have any easy characters to pick up that Heldrakes are good at doing, you know? Like Heldrakes can go kill a Chapter Master, no problem. But like you were to charge them into even just a normal Terminator Librarian for Grey Knights, I mean, unless they roll terrible or you roll really, really well, you're probably not going to kill it, so. But, yeah, so I really wanted to just get these done. And, you know, it's just a really big hurdle out of my collection. On top of it, you know, so shout out to a place called Clark Paints. So I don't know if he's a commission painter. I think he is, but he requested to help out the channel. He wanted me to send him some models to paint. So he's painting up a couple of my HQs for me, my Sloppity Biopiper and a Sorcerer. And so he's painting up a couple other models for me, so which is going to be a huge help because that means, you know, I can slowly start whittling down this pile behind me of stuff that I got to paint. After I paint that HQ I was just talking about for my list, I think then I'm going to start painting up all my demons, and that's more or less in preparation that hopefully demons get something really nice in this Psychic Awakening coming up. And once that happens, so I'll probably paint my pink horrors next. That's probably going to be my next big project because my pink horrors are actually base coated. You should have sent damn it, Jake. No, that would have been mean. Also, I don't know how much that would be to ship 3 Heldrakes. But, no, that would have been terrible. Because it looks like he hand paints like me. So, because I didn't see very much airbrush work out of him. So, no, I would have felt horrible sending off the Heldrakes. Be like, here, paint these for me. That would have been awful. That's funny, though. That's funny. I'm going to tell him you said that, because that is hilarious. But, no, thanks so much to him, though. That is a huge help to me, because that means I can focus on other things. Because with Sloppity being painted, then I just got, because my Spoilpox Scrivener is painted, so that would just mean I would have to paint the other 30 Plague Bearers if Plague Bearers were to get good again. So, which they're already base coated. It would have definitely been worth it, but that would have been messed up. So he requested if I'd send him a couple HQs or something. So I sent him Sloppity just because I have never painted, because you know my history with Sloppity and how poorly he does for me. He hasn't gotten paint because he's never been in a list where I actually will run him. But because the model is really gorgeous. I love the model. But it just sounded like a good opportunity to get him painted, you know? And then on top of it, with him painting a sorcerer and painting a Sloppity, then, whenever I pop out those Plague Bearers again, then he can see that I'm playing with the Sloppity that he painted me. So that'd be neat. So it's really cool, though. It's really cool that the community is reaching out and wanting to help me out. So I greatly appreciate it, you know. Still waiting on my damn dice, though. Haven't heard nor seen nor hide nor hair of them, other than the initial dice. But I'm also impatient, so. Man, why is this? There we go. Let me check this. Okay, there we go. Because I'm noticing that for some reason, I keep pulling it away from the camera so you guys can't see what I'm doing. So I apologize. Hopefully that fixes it. Yes, they were Chess X dice. But they said it should be 10 weeks, so I'm just very impatient. So I'm sure I'll hear shortly about them. Because it's been about 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that. So I don't think they were going to get a 4-up Feel No Pain. That's a little much. But I would love a way to stop Grey Knight's powers a little better with demons. I think demons should have some sort of psychic immunity or psychic ways to stop psychic powers more reliably, you know? Because they are made of warp energy, so it's kind of weird that a warp based army would just smite you to death and you'd have no way of stopping it, especially 1000 or Tzeentch stuff, you know. But it'll be interesting to see what we get, but in preparation. So that's also another reason why I'm painting up these, is that it's my hope that my demon engines will be viable once again, and then these will be able to go wreak havoc upon my enemies. So, shut up, Bobby. What's up, Bobby? God damn it. Resident Troll has returned. Yes, Imperium is definitely easier than painting one of these damn things. That is true. I would rather paint 100 Wolfen than paint one of these. Fucking Bobby. That is what it is, David. I'm not too worried about it. It's not like I'm running a business or anything. The dice are just extra nicety. But I do really need new dice. My wife even told me the other day that I need new dice. So hopefully the new dice will reinvigorate Papa Nurgle, and he'll bless me with feel no pains for days. Barf Imperium. Freaking Bobby. Why do you gotta come in here and just like ruin everything every time? He comes in here, he's like, I'm painting Grey Knights. The other time I was like, I'm painting Admech. It's like, dude. Ugh. JK. We love you, Bobby. You're the only Imperial guy that we allow on the channel. Alright, I gotta paint his tailpipe right here a little better. Because the paint dried, but I can still see. There we go. But yeah, Grey Knights are the flavor of the week. I'm Chaos Incarnate. I mean, Jake is embracing chaos by making us all like blood for the blood gods, so, you know. He's doing Khorne's will inadvertently. Or maybe purposely. I don't know. Those guys over there in the UK, they're kind of weird. They make me giggle. But, alright, cool. So, there we go. So, fleshy bits are done on that Heldrake too. So, let's rotate back to number 1, which is over here. Just verifying the flesh. So, I do need to hit up the flesh a little bit more. You do claim Alfarius quite a bit. But would Alfarius tell me that he's Alfarius? Because I don't think Alfarius would do that. That's not very Alfarius of you. I think Alfarius would want me to think like you're a Dark Angel. Which, I mean, technically, if you're Dark Angels, then you are Chaos anyway. So, you know, in which case we're good. Betafarius is here. Yeah, but you've played Wolves forever there, Dave. So, you're a purist. Like, as a matter of fact, you haven't even abandoned them. So, you're good then. You know? You don't run around like saying, well, my Space Wolves are all of a sudden Blood Angels. Because Blood Angels are better. So, getting this tailpipe done. Oh, crap. There's just so many little hidden nooks and crannies on these damn things, man. Like, right when you think that you finished a part, then you look at it and you're like, God damn it, I missed like a little smidgen. Okay. Alrighty. All is chaos. Now that'd be kind of fun to have a fully fallen army and just... Because you could play it as Dark Angels and nobody could say anything about it, right? Okay, so fleshy bits are done. So I think the next part is going to be Lead Belcher. Yeah, we'll do Lead Belcher. And so this is going to be a tad bit tedious. So bear with me, guys, because I need to actually focus pretty heavily on some parts as I do them. So let's see, where's my, okay, got those brushes, flat brush. Okay. So For the lead belcher, I'm going to paint the claws, the spikes up here in the front, probably all these tubes under the arm here. Yeah, so I'll probably start with them upside down. Let's start here. And I'm also going to do all the cables on his neck, and then I'm going to go through and hit him up with other colors for all the tubing. So, but let's start over here. So I need to actually thin this down a little bit. Where's my medium? Yeah. Yeah, I do hope they do a decent job on Death Guard, but after seeing what they did to Thousand Suns, I'm trepidatious, you know? Because while I'm happy that Grey Knights got what they got, they did Thousand Suns kind of dirty in the process, you know? So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. We'll have to see. I could be completely wrong. And some of the hints that I'm getting, or some of the rumor mill stuff, sounds promising for Death Guard, because they are just about as old as Grey Knights. So they're one of the first codexes, so they're definitely showing their age, you know. But we'll see. We will see. Sorry, I see that the chat has scrolled, but I'm trying to really focus in right here. So like I said, these next few parts, I'm probably going to have to just focus in here. But you guys are having a lively conversation. I love that. I love that we're having quite a bit of activity tonight. So, because normally I paint in the afternoons. I think people at that point are actually painting and just kind of listening. Hopefully I'm not waking up my roommate. Gots to be quiet, guys. Alright. So getting under these underarms here. Jake. Oh God. No. No. There's wish listing, and then there's just that. That's no. Just no. Well, I do agree with the 4-up feel no pain idea, because, you know, the fact that Iron Hands have the same thing that we do, but better. Because, you know, they have 2 wound Marines as opposed to 1 wound Marines. So that feel no pain makes a much larger impact. And then after facing the Centurions that can do it, made me realize just how outgunned we really are, you know? Yeah, because that Centurion thing pissed me kind of off. I was like, really? This is like a way better version of Blightlord Terminators. I even told the guy, I was like, you know, this is like fighting 30 Blightlords, which would have been my entire army. My whole 1,500 points. And by the way, you get about double the amount of shots in each squad than Blightlord Terminators get. Plus, Centurions actually hit harder than the flail does, which is hilarious, I guess. Fuck Iron Hands. I agree. Alright, so I've got the underarms of the both arms there. I'm going to come through. I'm going to hit up this claw next. So I'm trying to hit the underside of everything first, and then I'm going to flip them over and then go from the top side, you know? But yeah, I mean, it made me just realize how badly, just how much Chaos needs a bit of TLC, you know? So we will see. We will see. But, I mean, I put up a good fight, so. It's just boring as fuck. It is. 100%. As a matter of fact, a lot of Marine players are stopping playing Marines because of that very reason. A lot of guys just they hate how it feels like a completely one-sided game most of the time, you know? But what's going to be funny is if they nerf those into the ground, how I just wonder what would happen if all these meta chasing players didn't have some OP combo ass army to play, you know? Like, what if all the armies were fair? Like, what would these OP meta chasers that pour thousands of dollars into buying the newest, greatest army do at that point, you know? Just food for thought. Because we've got 2 or 3 of them in my local area, so that literally the newest, bestest meta army comes out, and these guys have them. So it is what it is. Everybody gets a different enjoyment, so can't necessarily say it's bad. And if anything, it gives me the opportunity to test against these armies. But at the same point, you can definitely tell that they don't know 40k nearly as well as other people. They just know how to roll dice and pick up models. I do. I have a lot more respect for people who stick with a single army or a single archetype or something like that and just kind of play it. But everybody's different. Alright. Got those claws done. Yeah. Meta chasing isn't bad. I mean, because like I said, everybody gets their own enjoyment out of it. But at the same point, I don't know. I'm kind of a purist, so, and I guess that's kind of the way that I look at it, is that if you like a faction, regardless of whether or not it does well, you should play it. But there's a difference between playing a faction that you like and it does well, and having a faction that is unplayable, if you know what I mean. Because, like, you could make an argument that demons are functionally unplayable in their current state. Because if you were to take a mono demons army to a tournament right now, you're probably not going to do very well. Especially if you run up against a Grey Knights player. Might as well say sayonara, pick up your army. As a matter of fact, earlier today, so a guy started hitting me up on the Facebook page, just kind of asking questions and theory crafting. and just wanted some general like tips. And he was really excited about bloodletters, and then I just had to kind of like like tell him kind of the reality of bloodletters, and it made me really sad because I have a unit of bloodletters. You know, it sits on the thing behind me. I'm sure you guys have seen it, and started painting it. You know, got it all together, and then that was right before Space Marines came out. And I've put them on the table like 2 or 3 times since then, since the Space Marine stuff came out, and every time they just die. Like I charged into some just normal intercessors with a unit of 30 bloodletters, and I lost half of them. And I was just sitting there thinking like, this shouldn't happen, right? Like, in what world does my bloodletters get picked up by freaking normal Space Marines? I almost feel like we should go back to the old weapon charts in past editions, you know, where if your weapon skill was higher than your opponent's, then you hit better, sort of thing. Well, I mean, if Auspex Scan didn't exist for, you know, every army in the game, pretty much right now, then yeah, I would totally agree. But like I said, though, even when I didn't get Auspex scanned, you know, I charged in and charged in multiple combats, so I had to do things in different ways. But some damn intercessors interrupted the combat, and I was like, he won't do that much, and they freaking picked up half my bloodletters before they swing, because they're damn freaking bazillion attacks for being intercessors and getting charged, you know. And I was like, oh wow, that was pretty cool. Like, your little 100-point squad just picked up over 100 points in bloodletters, so they already made their points back. But bloodletters do cleave their way through some Armor 3 stuff. I don't know, I was kind of just pondering them, because after I talked to the guy, and just same thing, you know, I said the same thing, you know, Auspex Scan still a thing. He had talked about summoning them in to get the 3d6 banner. I was like, you can't do that because you have to buy the banner for the squad, yada yada yada. But then I was like thinking, you know, can you run them with into Grey Knights? And I was just like, nah, there's no way. There's no way I would ever run those into Grey Knights. Because I was thinking about it, they'd be good at picking up paladins. Because, you know, they can pop their -1 strat or whatever. They could even pop Space Wolf intercessors. Oh god, I don't even want to go down that road. Yeah, these were damn Ultramarine intercessors. And they did that much damage. So I don't even want to imagine if it was like a real close combat army like Blood Angels or Space Wolves. Charge your bloodletters in and lose almost all of them. This game's fun. Alright. I think that I've got the bottom side done. So now I should be able to flip him over and do the top side of all these claws. Yeah, and that's why I bought one, was because like I noticed people were starting to use them, and I was like, oh yeah, I could see the merit in them, you know, and I was really excited to get them, and then, you know, finally get them and start painting them up, and then Marines happened, and so that's also why I'm not a fan of meta chasing. Because even when your faction is good, like if you try to chase whatever's good, it's good for a little bit, but then it goes away. So such as these bloodletters. Whoever said Warhammer was fun. I mean, I have fun talking about it, and I have fun painting. Like, I have fun hanging out with you guys here. Like, this right here is fun. Like, I'm genuinely enjoying myself right now. And hopefully you guys are too. I mean, a few of y'all have been here for a little while. But yeah, sometimes playing the game is just frustrating, you know? And that's where I do think having another game to fall back on is good. But at the same point, you know, doing miniature games are very, very expensive. Hence why my trepidation in trying to get into Age of Sigmar, because who knows, I could get into Age of Sigmar tomorrow, play a few games, be like, oh, it's a lot of fun, and then, you know, the new Psychic Awakening stuff comes out, and then I'm like, oh, man, abandon this game, I'm going to go play Psychic Awakening stuff. Also, plus, you know, with running this YouTube channel now, I do have my obligation to y'all, to my viewers, to put out good quality content. So, because we're mainly a 40K thing, at least that's what I've kind of built it into. I just kind of want to stick with that for now, you know, because here in a year, year and a half, when I move, because, you know, being part of the military, we move a lot, and my time is up, and I should find out here in about a year where I'm going. So you know, there's a chance that I could go anywhere in the world. I am going to try for Kansas, or Missouri, I should say. So either Missouri, Kansas, or back to Nebraska. So those are my three that I'm trying for. Luckily, Nebraska has a huge 40K, community. I wasn't really a part of it when I was out there, because I lived there before I came out here to North Carolina. But I was involved in the War Machine, which they had a lot of War Machine players out there. Like, it was huge. But I would definitely get back into the 40K. If I go to Missouri, I'll be right next to Kansas City, Missouri. And that's got it's over 2 million people. So so because there's over 2 million people, I imagine that I can get some 40K in. I don't know. I would hope with over 2 million people in a city that there would be some 40K to be had. Come to New York? No. New York is up there, pretty close to California as far as fuck no. So my dad and my mom, my stepmom, she's from there. She's from New York. And my dad, he lived there for like 13 years. And all he talks about is just how bad the taxes are, how bad the government is there, and just how everything's just poorly managed the whole time. And kind of mimics my thoughts on California, because California, I love the state. Like, I've been to California many times, and it's gorgeous, and they have awesome beaches, and the food is incredible, and the atmosphere is freaking just like the bee's knees. But yeah. Tennessee's nice. I like Tennessee. I don't know. I prefer the West, so I'm gonna go out west eventually. Um, I'm a huge fan of Nevada. Nevada is awesome. I love Nevada. 2 million meta chasers. Could be 2 million meta chasers, but you know what? I'll still play Chaos. Don't matter. And you know what? At least it'd be 2 million different people. 2 million different meta chasers. That's funny, Bubby. You make me laugh, my friend. Whenever Bobby trolls me, he makes me laugh. He's the ultimate troll. It's not even pretty like California. Yeah, at least California has that going for it. But yeah, I've heard nothing but bad things about New York. And quite frankly, I'm not too fond of the East Coast myself. I mean, it's okay. But there's not nearly as much, like, it's not as, it's weird. So, this is me talking. So, take this for what it is. So, I'm a conservative person. But I found that as a conservative person, I do like progressive areas. Because I think there's good stuff in progressivism, you know, because obviously we need to adapt and mold and change. But at the same point, there is a certain point where progressive is too progressive, or it's destructive, I should say. So, but I will say, like, I really enjoy being in progressive areas because they tend to have the best restaurants, the best bars, stuff like that. The best things to do, so. That is true. The East Coast does have TJ Lanigan. And me and TJ have become pretty good friends now. But you know what? We can still be friends and I can be somewhere else. So. You can take your friends with you, you know? And plus, if I go to Nevada, you know what? You know what I can do in Nevada? I can go visit Frontline Gaming. And I can go to the LVO. Did you ever think of those things? Could you imagine some Heretic Wargaming at LVO? I mean, they wouldn't even know what to do. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because New York's very, the whole nanny state thing is a little crazy. We're talking about society or Space Marines? A little bit of both, buddy. A little bit of both. Yeah, the whole nanny state thing too. That's just like, I don't know. I don't know how anybody over there puts up with it. So it's like, man, if I want to eat a damn cheeseburger, I'm going to eat a damn cheeseburger and you're not going to say anything about it. But that's just me saying that. So okay, so I've got the claws done. I've got the spikes done. I think I need to do the spikes on the backs of the wings. I want to do these spikes too. Kind of like the spikes not all being silver. I think I just want to do the claws and stuff. So what I'm talking about is these spikes back here. I don't know if I want to make them silver to kind of break it up. Oh, nice. I'm glad that you're going to make it to LVO, man. I hope you do well. Maybe next year I can try to plan on going. Maybe that'll be like my anniversary gift or something. You'll be 21 by then, right? Maybe if I make it out there this year, I'll buy you a beer. Yeah, I do want to do these as silver. Yeah, that looks really nice. So Oh, it's a family trip? Okay. You know what? It's the experience that matters. Just aim for a winning record. 4-2. If you aim for a 4-2, then you can't be disappointed. Because, like, if you go 5-1 or something, that'd be amazing, right? Well, sweet. So, if we ever meet up, Jake, I will buy you a beer. Or the drink of your choice. So sorry guys, I'm really trying to focus on these spikes. Cause I don't wanna mess them up too bad. I'm already gonna have to come through and touch up some of the gold where I've messed it up some, but oh. Yeah, 3-3 is not bad either. That's a good goal. So I was listening to the Forge the Narrative on goal setting, and I've realized that for this year I have not set myself a goal as far as like 40K goes, you know. So like my personal goals for this year are to I'd like to get my airframe and power plant license, which is a license that you can get to basically work on civilian aircraft. So that's something I'm working on now. I've gotten permission to go. I just need to save up like $600 to go. So that's a personal goal of mine. And then I would like to make rank this year, but that's out of my hands at this point. I've done everything I can, so now I'm just waiting to hear. So while that is a goal of mine, that is not something that I can actively change, you know, at this point. At this point, it's just whether or not I get it. Yeah, school's way more important than going to GTs. You'll have plenty of time to go to GTs after you're done school, you know. And it's hard to not get jealous, you know, because I'm the same way. Like, if I got work stuff going on and I missed a tournament or something in the local area, I'm like, oh god, I missed the tournament. But real life, like, you don't make money off Warhammer. It's a hobby. So even me doing this YouTube channel thing, like, this is still basically my hobby time. I just choose to spend it with other people while I do this stuff. Yeah, see, I like the way that looks. That looks really nice. Boom. Now let's go ahead and flip them around, and let's go ahead and do the spikes on the other side. But yeah, so you'll have plenty of time to make up a bunch of GTs. I mean, you got so much life left ahead of you. But yeah, back to what I was saying. I think my goal for this year will be to win an RTT. So I did win a couple last year, but I haven't won one in a while. Haven't been doing very well either. As you guys will soon tell by the video that I'm about to release. So I'd like to win an RTT, and then I'm gonna try to go to my first major. So that's a goal of mine. There's supposedly going to be one over in Raleigh, outside of Raleigh. So it's using the Warzone mission packet though. So I've never played Warzone missions, so that'll be different. And then I'd like to make top 5 of a GT. So assuming I can make it to multiple GTs, one of them I would like to be top 5. So, well, I'm glad you won an RTT. Make me feel bad. My last 2 RTTs, I've had a losing record. Make me feel bad and inferior. Yeesh. But those are my personal goals. And then also, probably my main goal. So this is a channel goal, you know. So I've already achieved one, which was to get dice. Thanks to my wife giving me a little bit extra money. So that goal is already complete. But I would like to get up to 2,500 subscribers. That would be really neat. That would be super neat. I would love that so much. But everybody's been helping me out a lot, so, and then these chaos chats have definitely been very impactful in that regard. Because we're getting a lot of viewers from those. But the big thing that's going to drag a lot of people in is Tacticas. So, I've redone the Thousand Suns Tactica, and that's coming out here in a few weeks. And then I'm got to redo the Chaos Space Marine one, because we're not getting anything else from Psychic Awakening. So, but we'll see. I'm kind of holding off because I am toying with a lot of stuff for Chaos Space Marines. So, but I did do the Thousand Suns one, and then I'll probably end up kicking out one for Demons probably right away after the new Psychic Awakening comes out, because I am really pumped for that one. Alright, there we go. You've never won a game. Well, maybe that should be your goal this year, Dave. Is win a game at an ITC tournament. Yeah, no. Winning best painted, like that. That's one of my goals, is to win best painted. But at this point, I don't think I'm gonna get it. So, I do have an idea for a new display board, but whether or not I want to put time and effort into it, I don't know. Yeah, goal setting. Goal setting's good. But yeah, I realized I hadn't set any goals for me, so that's why we're talking about them. And those are good goals too. I like your goals. Okay, so I still have a few more things that I gotta do silver, but whether or not. Do I want to do weapon bronze, or do I want to do gold? I'm trying to think for the talons how I want to do it. I think for the talons I want to leave them bone, because the teeth for this guy is going to be bone too. So we'll do weapon bronze. So weapon bronze, like this matches pretty much the GW color for bronze. I think it's Searkite bronze or something like that. But yeah, there is a narrative tournament this weekend, but if it wasn't a 2-hour drive, I would totally go to it. If it was like an hour drive, I might make the effort, but 2 hours, nah. Let me get I need something that's a little bigger for this. But yeah, I mean, I won't win best painted at the bigger events here because there's a few guys here that are way too damn good. My friend Joe, like if he shows up at an event, you lose. So he's way too damn good. So I just try to do the best that I can. And I know that I do better than quite a few other people. And at least I paint my stuff, you know? So I do wish you on your best painted journey though. But yeah, there's a couple guys in this area that are just phenomenal. There's a couple that have pro painted like armies that they paid commissioners to do, so is what it is. I think he's talking like white, as in like white scars white, you know? Like the super white with the black wash in the edges, and where you paint it like 4 or 5 times to make it come out real nice. That's what I'm assuming he means. Oh yeah, let's see. So doing all the bronze on the claws right now. But yeah, I'll probably make my new display board. That's going to be a next year thing. Oh, well, Bobby, then teach us your ways, old master. Old master of the white. But yeah, my new display board will probably be a next year project, because this year I really want to try to get a lot of this stuff painted. Put a lot of effort into getting that single display board done, so. And then next year I will do a new display board. Alfarius the White. Hey, you know what, Jake? White is easier than painting this thing. There you go. Don't Facebook message him. Don't fall for it. He'll send you very rapey pictures. And it's very disturbing. But yeah, I'm trying to get this Heldrake at least partially done, man. These things are so hellacious to paint. Alright, so I gotta do the back claws, and I'm also gonna use this bronze for these, so he has like a chest plate, like a little chin plate right here that I kind of skipped over. I mean, yeah, if pictures of genitals is imperial propaganda, then I suppose so. I suppose so, sir. Now I imagine I'm gonna like open up my phone and Bobby's gonna be sending me something weird like he did before. I want to start playing The Witcher again. That's deformation. You mean deformation? I guess that is how you spell it. I think it's defamation that you're looking for. Defamation. Do trolls even have feelings? It wouldn't be chaos. That's a good one. All right, Bobby, you got me there. That was a good one. Oh, that was too good. Damn, I just got zinged. What's up, unseemly tangent? I haven't seen you here. Welcome. Just laughing at the jokes Bobby makes. That is true. Slaanesh propaganda wouldn't be very good either. I'd imagine like Slaanesh propaganda would be like the worst BDSM film ever. This is the best use of your time? Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to make it the best use of my time. Painting this damn thing is painful. So very painful. And this is one of 3. I'm gonna have to do multiple coats of bronze here because this stuff is not going on smoothly at all. Flat 4 damage smite. That's what she said. Or is that a flat 4-inch smite? Whoa! I'm coming in hot, spitting that hot fire. You better watch out. This is why we don't like you. I like Bobby just fine. You gotta keep trolls around, man. They keep things like... So he might troll us, but you know how hard he'd probably troll people that, like, aren't cool here? Like, I'm pretty sure Bobby, like, claims us for his trolldom. Like, his troll kingdom. And if somebody were to, like, threaten his troll kingdom, he'd, like, lash out. And I mean, he's already pretty trolly, so. Like, how bad would your trolliness get? I don't know, Bobby. I don't know. Oh, sorry, tangent. No, I have not gotten any creature caster models yet. As a matter of fact, when I hit 2,000 subs, I do intend to reach out to them, but you have to have 2,000 subscribers to even have them think about sponsoring you. So, and I mean, they sponsor all the big chaos names like TJ and Jim Vessel, so who knows? We'll see. All right, so got the bronze there. Now I gotta do don't test it. Don't test it. Don't test the bounds of his trolliness. So now I'm going to do these claws right here. But yeah, these heldrakes are very, very big. So and it's funny too, because I'll put them on the table and people are like, I haven't even seen these things around here. And it's like, oh yeah, they don't do like anything, and then they just die. that's pretty much been my experience with these lately. So hence why they don't see the table very much. Sorry, I'm focusing in on these claws real quick, because I gotta get the bronze on the tops of them. So after this, I'll be time to do the tubes. So I gotta think of a tube color though, which has been something I've been trying to think of. I mean, I can do them the what is it, the Incubi Darkness, like I have been doing, which wouldn't be too bad, but I'm just not sure. I mean, I can do them yellow. Yellow tubes tend to be pretty cool. And then that way when I do the oil and stuff like that, it'll look pretty good. Alright. Painting heldrakes is so much fun. Not really. Not really. This is by far the worst model I've ever painted, sirs and ma'ams. Oh god, what's going on? The play Grey Knights get both. Name the time and continent. Oh god, they're trying to throw down. Yeah, no, I love the creature caster models. They're super cool. But I would paint any creature caster model over this damn thing any day of the week. It would be a lot more enjoyable. So, alright, so now we gotta do the tubes. So I am gonna do the that is true. See, that is a solid plan there, Unseemly Tangent. Blame it on the army. That's what I do. I'm like, hey, I play Chaos, man. Like, what do you expect from me? One doth not simply throw down. Well, I'm pretty sure you can just simply throw down. How is it bad to paint? It's just very like you can see there's a lot of nooks and crannies and trying to get down in areas, and it's not fun. It's not fun. It's also very spiky. Like you could cut yourself up pretty good painting this thing. Okay, guys, so now we're doing all the tubes. And we're going to do them yellow. But yeah, I spent, I don't know if you're a fan of our Facebook page there, Tangent, but I spent 3 hours per model just doing the trim on them. So it's just a very time-consuming model that I don't know. There's just a lot to it. There's just a whole lot to this guy. I think Bobby and Jake are having too much fun. Yeah. But getting down in there, getting all the tubes. There's some parts, like looking down in here, you know, there's still some white down in here. So when I wash it, basically I'm just going to aim to hide the parts that I really can't get to, because it's really not worth the time to get down in there to get a little splashy yellow and then mess up the trim or something like that, you know? So now I'm going around the edges of the wings and getting all the tubes there, because all the wings have tubes on the edges. So well, if you get it, I recommend you do not build it first. So that was my mistake number one. This would have been a hell of a lot easier if I hadn't. Two of these I bought used, so they were already pre-built. And then the third one I built up because I was like, that's normally how I paint stuff, is I build it first. This is the first model I can honestly tell you that if it was sub-assembled, this would have been a lot easier. So and so that will be my tip to you, should you buy one, and when you do buy one, to sub-assemble and paint like that. Alright, so I think I got God damn it. Oh God, you two are making me laugh too much right now. It's hilarious. I don't want a TV either. Then how do you plot your mad trolling schemes if you don't have TV? That trolls got all their like schemes off of like NCIS or freaking CSI or something like that. Law and Order. Is that like? Do you guys watch that stuff? That's an honest question. Do they watch that stuff over in the UK? Always been curious. My grandma and or I guess yeah, she'd be my grandma on my wife's side is British. She still watches all the old British TV shows. Yeah, she's a very prim and proper old lady. Rick and Morty. There you go. There you go. I didn't think there was stupid trolls. I thought all trolls were like trolls. Like TV is absolute bullshit over here. Yeah, I don't own cable. I just watch all like Hulu and all that stuff. Like, who the hell has cable anymore, you know? It's so expensive. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if, like, cable TV is gone in the next few years. Because even, like, all the sports networks, you know, like ESPN and all them, they have their own apps or streaming channels, so. Sorry, guys, if you're trying to watch. I'm just getting down in here and doing all the hoses, so. They've devolved to boomer comments. Yeah, I've been called boomer a few times. It's like, whatever, man. Alright, I think I got these. Oh, nope. I missed the inside of that tube. And I missed a little bit right there. And there's that. Okay, so I got all the tubes on that side. I got the tubes right next to his legs. So I gotta flip them around. I gotta do the tubes on the other side. Okay, boomer. Oh, God. Y'all are crazy. Y'all are crazy. Y'all are making me laugh too hard tonight. Bobby, you make the chat so lively. I think I'm the only one getting any painting done now. Oh, but yeah. Man, oh man. This thing is difficult. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. So yeah, same thing. There's a lot of white in here that I'm missing, so I'm just gonna kind of try to hide it with washes. Just darken it up. Because Heldrakes, you go more for the overall impact of it than all the little details. So I'm just trying to get all the spots where somebody might be able to see it. Oh man. Starting to get tired. I don't know what time it is. Oh, it's past 11. That's why I'm getting tired. I'm an old man. I'm a boomer, as y'all have already said. Alright. Flip it over and get to the bottom side of these things. Any of y'all doing? I'll do more painting when you. Oh, when you're home. Oh, so you're not home right now. You're just hanging out with us then. I actually get that quite a bit. Just people popping in, saying hey. It's old person bedtime. Well, if you got class, yeah, you gotta get sleep eventually. But no, I remember my college days, man. There were some days I wouldn't go to sleep. Just do my thing, you know. Yeah, I need to do more of the bronze. I bet, man. I bet. I wish I had some Marines I could just like look at them glaringly. Pissed off like go away Marines. Making me so mad. Dumpster fire Marines. Now, I mean, they've made a lot of podcasts actually. Even the highly competitive ones are starting to say how bad for the game the Marines have been. Because if you've been around long enough, we had the Castellan list and yada yada yada. But the Castellan list, you could combat that. Like that was not a. It was a hard list to beat, sure. It was definitely the meta king at that time, but you could beat it. Ynnari at the beginning of 8th, okay, arguably you could definitely make a case for them being basically just the same as Marines, but that was the beginning of the edition, like nobody had codexes and there was still so much left, you know what I mean? But now we're at the point where all the codexes are out and Marines are the only ones that have gotten a second codex. And there's no like hope insight sort of thing. Like, yeah, we're getting Psychic Awakening, but it's been super hit or miss depending on the faction. And so, yeah, it's just even the highly competitive people are saying that it's not good for the game state. Because a lot of people are starting to just feel the crush and be like, I'm over it. Because there's only, we've been playing them since what, September? It's like September when the new Marine Codex came out. And we've been dealing with like Raven Guard since, about then. Probably October. I think October was when Raven Guard came out. So it's been 4 months straight of just like the same old lists constantly being up top. And even though we figured out ways to beat them, the Marines are still finding more and more lists that, like I said, I literally just faced the Iron Hand Centurion freaking Death Star, which I didn't even know that was a thing. Now, I don't even count that. That second Chaos Codex was freaking hot garbage. That was the worst thing that they could have done. And the thing is, like, the funny thing is, too, like, and it makes me laugh, is everybody was saying to all the Chaos people, oh, don't be salty, you just got a new Codex. Oh, don't be salty, it's not nearly as bad as all that. Like, the Marines didn't get all this stuff over you, like blah 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 blah, and then now everybody's just kind of changed their tune, like, well, okay, well, maybe Chaos should be a little salty. Because, I mean, I've only seen one list really come out of Psychic Awakening as far as Chaos, and that was the Possessed Bomb, which that was a thing before. But it definitely, like, gave us the tools to make it work a lot better, which y'all know my thoughts on the Possessed Bomb, because I don't like Death Star lists. I don't like a list that just revolves around one unit to win the game, you know? I like to have multiple units that do multiple things and can win me the game that way, you know? Not just, here, deal with this one unstoppable thing, and if you deal with it, well, then you won the game, you know? It's kind of like how facing a Centurion Bomb for Raven Guard feels like. Like, 3 of those units, you beat those, you win the game, but it's just not my style of list, you know? But other than the Possessed Bomb, we haven't really seen anything else come out of the Chaos Codex, you know what I mean? Thousand Suns, we're starting to see some people, especially in the UK, are definitely gravitating towards like the rubrics and stuff like that, with various degrees of success, but that's it, man. Like we're not seeing some like crazy resurgence of old archetypes. A lot of our go-to units have been either nerfed or are completely rendered ineffective thanks to various things. And by various things I mean stupid Grey Knights. So, yeah, of course, man. Thank you for stopping in. Yeah, I think I've almost hit my limit here. So, yeah, I mean, I got a lot done on the stream tonight. We've been going for what, 2 hours? So, hey, man, if it works for you, it works. So I can't say it's good or bad if it works for you. You know, might not be my style list. And I tell people that sometimes too. Like, just because I think it's not good doesn't mean that it's not good, you know? If it works for you, obviously you're winning games. You're probably doing better than me at that point. So, let me go ahead and hit up these tailpipes real fast. But no, thanks, Jake. Jake was having a lot of fun in here. I think that's why he stayed a lot later than he should have. He's got school tomorrow. Cheese. Now, I think everybody enjoys playing a little bit of cheese, but cheese within limits, you know what I mean? Like, you want your cheese, but stop being salty. I'm salty just because look at what GK got and then look at what Thousand Suns got. That's why I'm salty. I'm not salty that GK got cool stuff. Like, they definitely needed it. That is not what I'm salty about. What I'm salty about is in the exact same codex, they did the Thousand Suns really dirty. Especially with some of the freaking stratagems that GK got and some of their spells, man. Like, just the layered buffs that you can give a Paladin Bomb is just insane. You know what I mean? I really wish we had gotten something like that for Scarab Occult Terminators. Because aren't Paladins 3 wounds too? Like, they're the only Terminator unit in the game with 3 wounds? Which to me is just completely asinine. They need to go through and, you know, fac all the data sheets and add +1 wound to all the damn Terminators at this point. Because I would love to be able to run like Blight Lords again, or Scarab Occults I think have some play. It's just getting them out there, you know. $90 Bloodletter, yeah. I have a buddy that runs 2 Bloodletter bombs, and yeah, he doesn't do very well with it. And I told him, man, you need to, like, 1 is plenty. Like, any more than 1 and it's just too many. Mostly because Bloodletters die in droves. So if 1 Bloodletter bomb's not going to do it, 2 certainly isn't. Yeah. No. You can only shoot 80 bolter shots if you stand still. That's it. So oh yeah, because Tau can ignore modifiers now with that new stratagem, right? Yeah, it does feel bad. Your go-to strategy, which was, you know, hey, negative hit modifiers, Tau just ignore it now. So yeah, there's that. That's always fun. Gotta adapt our strategies, you know. I don't think the -4 hit disco's long for this world. They do. They die to a very soft wind. Like I said, I ran a bomb into my buddy's Ultramarines because I was like, you know what? Let me see what Bloodletters will do. And just some intercessors. It was like a 6-man unit of intercessors. I charged in, but I had charged multiple units, and I had to swing something else first. And he interrupted, and his intercessors killed half the unit of Bloodletters. Because they get, what, 3 attacks apiece plus 4 on the sergeant. So while Centurions are the same cost as a Paladin, so, and I do agree on some level with you. So Centurions don't have an invulnerable save, whereas a Paladin does. Your Paladin, he still has a D3 damage weapon, right? So that's good. Your Paladin's also a Psyker, so he can cast a spell. 2 damage smite, right? And he's got a Storm Bolter, so now take that, and so I want to say your Paladin's like 2 or 3 points more than a Scarab Occult Terminator, and a Scarab Occult Terminator, all he has over you is the fact that he has a -2 AP Bolter. That's it. But on the flip side, you get +1 wound, and your weapons do D3 damage in close combat as opposed to 1 damage. So, just some things to think about. I do think Centurions need to be toned down a little bit, though, personally. I think Centurions definitely, they got too much of a points drop on top of the fact that they got all the buffs with the +1 wound and everything else that they got. So, but we'll see. We'll see how they address Marines, you know. I do not foresee a change in points. Ooh, no, that would have been bad. Oh no, Centurions, they do have those benefits. All his dust is garbage. So don't even say that. All his dust is garbage. Because all his dust, I only get it against damage 1 weapons. You know how many damage 1 weapons are in the game right now? I'll tell you. Like, you can probably count them on one hand, and they're all, like, infantry weapons. Like, I mean, I guess you can make an argument if it was a repulsor executioner, you know? But But no, you cannot compare. A paladin is superior to a Scarab Occult Terminator. But I can definitely I can see the argument against the Centurions. You know what I mean? But in no way, shape, or form is the Thousand Suns Terminator as good as a damn paladin. Plus, you can buy demon hammers. Like, I get a power sword. That's all I get is a power sword. It's so bad. Scarab Occult Terminators are awful in close combat. I had 4 of them tied up with a Lehman Rust for 3 turns before they finally killed it. Like, I wish that there was a way to make, like, the sorcerer in the squad have, like, some super powerful staff or something, you know? Just something. Because they did. They just did not do anything in close combat against the tank. Why did I charge the tank? Well, because I wanted to wrap up the tank and not get my Terminator shot off the table. So, that's exactly what I did. Oh crap. Oh crap. Sorry, I'm painting the talons on this guy. And I saw a couple new people pop in, so I will answer here in a minute. Huzzah! Talons are painted. Wow. Oh, hi there, Kendall. What would you add for an Emperor's Children detachment to complement Slaanesh demons? Terminators. Go get yourself a unit of 10 Terminators. Emperor Children Terminators are freaking phenomenal. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you're new to this channel, so I do a live stream on every Sunday. You could proxy as GK. Just shut up. God damn it. Bobby, you make my head hurt. So I do a live stream every Sunday where I break down tournament lists from all over the meta of Chaos players that do really well. And there's one list in particular that I saw this week. I think it was Richard Cozart's list, but he was running a bunch of the Emperor's Children Terminators, and I absolutely love them. I faced him in a couple tournaments ago, and while the guy didn't win, I absolutely loved how that unit performed and what they did, as opposed to my Night Lord's Terminators. And so it's definitely been something that's been on my radar to try out. But being as you're playing Slaanesh and you're just trying to do a Slaanesh army. Sorry, I gotta get this claw right here. Yeah, I would recommend getting a unit of those. Crap. Recommend getting a unit of those. Obliterators are fantastic as Emperor's Children just because they're Slaanesh. Now they don't have all the tricks that other Obliterators have. But they're very good. They're a very good fire base, and they do a lot of damage. So, okay, Bobby. Bye-bye, you damn troll. Comes in here, just trolls up the place, and then he leaves. He's like that guest that comes into your house and then just like wrecks everything and then just walks out. Just kidding. He's actually a normal here. He does it out of the goodness of his heart. He plays Dark Admech. So he actually has a very pretty Dark Admech army. I really like some of the stuff he's done with it. So, and he plays Death Guard too. He just says inflammatory things to get us all worked up. But yeah, so those are good for Emperor's Children. Obviously, a couple Jump Lords or Demon Princes, because the Emperor's Children have some of the best relics as far as Chaos Space Marines go. Raiment Revulsive is just phenomenal. So good. So, I mean, those are a few ideas. I don't recommend going and getting Noise Marines. I haven't seen any lists. Sorry, I'm talking with paint in my mouth. But I haven't seen any lists that have impressed me with the use of Noise Marines. There was a lot of talk about them when the Faith and Fury came out because they're one of the highest damage dealing units in the game. But their biggest problem is that they just die. And they die very, very quickly. And you have no way to really transport 20 Noise Marines to the front lines safely. Like there's no teleport strat or anything like that, so sorry, I'm getting trying to get these talons done on the front. So right now we're just getting all the base colors done on this Heldrake. And so after I get these talons base coated, so it'll just leave his tailbone. Oh, I need to get these bottom. He's got some vents on the bottom of him too. So I'll paint those up. So hopefully that helps you out. Hopefully that gives you some ideas for your Slaanesh army. But feel free to ask any more questions you guys might have. And welcome, because I see a few names that are new here. So this is something I don't do very, very often. I try to get on here sometimes and do paint streams, but it's no guarantees. I've been painting these Heldrakes for going on now. Today's day 3, so and so I finally got to the point where it would be more interesting to actually watch, because if you would have came in and watched it the other day, if I had done it, it would have just been me painting trim for the last 3 days. So which is boring to me, so yeah, just play the glorious chaos. Well, I'm glad you found us there, Kendall. Yeah, that tactic is a little old, so some of the info in there might be kind of meh now. I am looking at redoing all my tacticas, but I'm waiting on their applicable Psychic Awakening book to come out. So when we get the Demon Psychic Awakening book, I'll definitely be redoing all of those to be more updated. But yeah, sadly demons are not in a good spot right now as a general rule. Grey Knights definitely took the boot to their face. Grey Knights are pretty much an anti-demon army, but they're really good against a lot of other things too, so alright. Sorry, coming in. But no, I'm glad that you found us, so I'm glad that my videos are still reaching out and still helping others find the glory of chaos, and you know, at least get you on the right foot, you know, get you started. But we'll see. I'll get those updated eventually, and then we'll have some brand new Tacticas. So even if you play the faction for a little while, then you can always come on back, and there'll be a new one eventually. It's on my list of things to do, but gotta wait for that new Psychic Awakening book. Alright. So painting in his tailpipe. LOL. It's a really odd model. Some of the curvature and just some of the things that they put on this model. Like, why does it have a turbojet out of its butt? Like, I get that it's a demon engine, but they kind of could have done without this part of it, you know? Yeah. That's what I keep hearing too. I'm not hearing anything specific though, you know what I mean? And even then, the rumors that I'm hearing aren't I don't know, it just doesn't lead me to anything, you know what I mean? Like it's hard to tell because and it's hard to not be trepidatious, especially after what the Thousand Suns got, you know? Because I was super stoked to see what Colts were. Adepticon, I am not going to. So, sadly, Adepticon is just too far away. And it also costs quite a bit of money. Now, I'm planning to go to Japan for my 10th anniversary this year with my wife. So, that's kind of our plan. So, that's kind of why I'm not going to any super large tournaments this year. I am planning to try to make it to a couple majors. I've never been to a major, so that's the plan anyway. But we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. But hopefully you make it to Adepticon, and hopefully you have fun if you are going. But no, I'm not going. 1 year. Actually, Adepticon's one that I don't want to go to. Like, if I was offered a free trip, okay, maybe. But Adepticon, well, A, I don't like Chicago. Or Illinois, for that matter. And then B, I really dislike their rules packet and the way that, and I get why they do what they do because of past things that have happened, but to me, it's kind of off-putting. You know what I mean? Just the way that it's the way that it is. You know what I mean? So just not my bag. I'd much rather save my money and go to like LVO at that point, or Bay Area Open, or I live in North Carolina, so Nova is actually pretty close. It's like a 4 or 5 hour drive from here, so I'd rather go to Nova, you know what I mean? So, which that's been one that I have talked to guys about going to this year. But I think that I want to say that it's at a bad time for me. So I probably won't make it this year. Sounds too big for you? Like as in too many people? But yeah, I don't like the Adepticon missions and any of that, so It's just not my bag, man. Also, I'd probably much rather try to make it down to Warzone Atlanta, because that's actually a lot closer to me, too. I got some friends that live down there, so. And then I could go visit my mom and dad, drive through Huntsville, Alabama, and visit them. So, just, I don't know. There's other large tournaments to me that are just way more worth it. You know what I mean? No, it would be pretty crazy. It is a massive tournament. So. Also, I think often when you go to those large ass tournaments like that, like you want to go with a plan to like, which I guess in that case I could go meet fans that are gonna be at Adepticon. You know what I mean? Like just meet and greets or something like that. But I'm not that big of a. I'm not really like a YouTube staple. You know what I mean? Like some of these other channels. So. Still relatively a small fry in a big pond, so. Oh, you haven't been to? Yeah, I went to my first convention this year, and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. So, and I am planning on going back to that event again this year if my buddies run it. Because it was definitely a well-ran event. So, and it was my first GT ever. So, they definitely set a high bar for expectations for a GT, being my first one. And a lot of guys have told me, temper your expectations because not all GTs are like that one. But it's kind of hard when your first one is really, really good. So, but yeah, I definitely want to hit up some GTs this year if possible. So Adepticon's not going to be one. Nova's still up in the air. Warzone still up in the air. With me going to Japan, it'll just really depend. You know what I mean? So Japan's a very expensive trip. All right. So we've got the teeth on the butt done. All I've got left really is the mouth, and I've got to do these plates again and his neck. But shit, man, I think he's almost to the point of being washed. Very, very close. Well, you guys, so I'm sorry that you tuned in so late there. But I am older and I'm starting to get really tired. So I should probably start heading to bed. But as you guys can see, we actually made a lot of progress. So this is actually what we started with when we started today. So this is one of my other heldrakes. And so this was the point where we started, except the flesh wasn't actually colored. I actually colored the flesh on all three of these. But so we started there, and as you guys can see, we've gotten to here. So it's actually pretty close. You know what I mean? There's just a few areas to hit up, and it'll be definitely looks a lot better. You know what I mean? So, and then we've got the third one too, which he was gold primed. So, but he's gonna go over here. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm sorry that if you just tuned in, you're tuning in pretty late. But at some point you gotta call the show. So yes, I do personally. I do prime a lot of my stuff white. I do Retributor cold from time to time. It's just the GW spray paints are so expensive. So the spray paint that I buy is is it Rust-Oleum or Krylon? But it's the white primer you buy at Walmart. It's like $5 a can and it's big. So I can prime a ton of models for $5, and that's why I prime everything white. They do have black, but me, because I do, so like here's a Terminator here. So my whole army's thing is to do this shiny red for my normal Space Marines. So white tends to lend itself. Let's see. So here's here I'll show you a finished model. So this is one of my Venom crawlers right here. And so the but it's almost like he's dusty a little bit. But anyways, but as you guys can see, the I always, this one I did prime gold when I started him, but yeah, that's exactly what I use there, unseemly. So but yeah, I always use white or gold. So and so yeah, that's kind of where we're at. But yeah, I've been definitely a fan of the white, so that's why I prime everything white, because it's easier to build up from white than it is to like kind of shade down black. So, but that's just my style right now. Who knows? I might end up using black for another army or something eventually. But why broke, or why fix what ain't broke, you know? So, but thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm sorry to you guys who might have tuned in a little later. Obviously, you guys can rewind and watch to whatever point you want. But I'm going to call it a night. So hopefully I'll see you guys on our next live stream. And just note that we do live streams on Sunday where I do break down the meta, and we talk about a lot of stuff. So the paint streams are kind of a little special treat that when I can get around to them. So, but I'm going to go head to bed. So I hope you guys have a good rest of your night.